Hello and welcome to Music City Mix. I am Chris Wilhite. This is Donnie Noland, and we are joined today by our good friend Zach Paxton. We are here to give you all things Middle Tennessee, from real estate to renovations, sports and politics. If it happens in the Middle Tennessee area, we are going to talk about it. All, of course, while enjoying a nice adult beverage. So pull up a chair, crack open your own bottle, and let's get this thing started. Donnie, how are you today? Zach, how's it going? Don't everybody
Firing on
speak
all
at once.
cylinders.
I was letting Zach
Firing
have
on
the
all
floor.
cylinders.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm recovering from a cold, but it's not bad. Been a little busy, running around like a chicken. What about yourself, buddy?
Man, things are great here. I tell you what, it's been busy, 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 keeping me hopping and rolling, and getting over that weather yesterday, and just trying to. I'm ready for spring. I tell you what, that's what I'm ready for. I'm ready for cutting my grass every week. I'm ready for sitting out on the back porch to watch TV. I'm ready for the spring.
Yeah, we've had the ups and downs on the weather out here. If you're not from Middle Tennessee, then expect this time of year. It's going to be 31 day, and the next day it'll be 75, and that brings some severe weather, tornadoes and
Yeah.
storms. We had some yesterday come through. Um, you guys get affected by that any? I had just some flooding, but
I
I mean, not right here. Go ahead, Zach. Go ahead.
I was gonna say they prepared us for so much. I follow Nash Severe Weather X on Twitter and YouTube, and because they are just spot on with their coverage of it, and they built it up. Like I knew about this. I was in Memphis for all the Easter weekend from Thursday to I got back Monday. Um, and I knew about it. It was on the horizon leading up to yesterday, and it was just a dull, duttered day. Yes, here in Murfreesboro, where I live, um, nothing happened. It rained. I mean, it rained hard. A little bit of wind, but I
sure.
wasn't. I wasn't fearful of any kind of damaging winds or the power, like electricity going off. So,
Well, I tell you,
not
the
to say
stuff
that
that came
I'm.
through last night was a lot worse than the
Oh, I
stuff
didn't hear
that
a
came
thing.
through during the middle of the day.
I was out.
It was, I mean, there was some absolute sheets coming down, you know, last night. I guess it's probably about 6:37, somewhere in that area. I mean, just absolutely pouring through here. We were inside my son's karate studio, couldn't even hear the music in there. It was hitting the roof so loud. But I mean, I was in Murfreesboro yesterday morning up there close to you
Yeah.
doing a closing, and I actually the girl that Taylor Johnson with Birthright Title, she called me the day before. She's like, look, can we move the time on this closing? And I was like, well, no, not really. I said, I've got some other things I got to do. And she's like, all right, well, you're gonna have to drive to Mount Juliet and pick me up because I'm not driving in that. So I had to drive from Greenbrier to Mount Juliet to pick up the title person and take her to Murfreesboro, and then take her back after the fact because she didn't want to drive in a tornado.
Yeah,
Hope that closing was worth it.
she's a good one though. She's a
Oh
good
yeah.
good one. She sponsors us on some of our golf stuff, so we can't go wrong with Taylor.
No, you really can't. I mean, her whole crew out there is really awesome. I haven't met a single person there that one was
Yep,
very knowledgeable, but also very personable. So
sure.
yeah, any realtors that are around Middle Tennessee listening to this, highly recommend Birthright Title out of Mount
Yep.
Juliet.
And we don't say that just because they sponsor our golf team.
No, well, because it wasn't our golf team. Actually, in that particular event, we went and played for her. I mean, it was her golf team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. She still paid for us to play golf.
She
I'm
paid for
okay.
us to play. Yeah,
You're never going to hear me complain about anybody paying for me to play golf.
that's right. That's right.
Or to do anything.
Never once. Never once.
Zach, I don't remember. Are you a big golfer?
I'm a great putt putter.
Great. Okay.
You know what's funny is the last two times I visited Top Golf, and I know Top Golf is like it's not golfing. It
No.
is a reason to you know
Rip it and rip it. That's what golf is.
expense out a work lunch. But me being and Chris, you can probably attest to this being a former a current softball player and probably former baseball player. I was a baseball player. And that's the typical argument. I have a level baseball swing. But in the last year or so, I finally just it finally just the light bulb went off, and I figured it out how to just No, I'm not gonna go like, do a whole 18, buy me a set of golf clubs. Probably not, but um, you never know. Maybe one day.
Johnny Bench was somebody that absolutely 100% believed that the baseball swing and the golf swing were the same. And I've never
For
found
Griffey,
that to
yeah.
be like, he even did a whole demonstration of how it starts off in one thing and then how your arms are moving the same. And he was moving down with the ball. And I'm like, no, but I remember watching a whole video when I first started getting into golf a million years ago, Johnny Bench saying it was the same swing. And I was like, oh, well, I could do that. And Donnie can attest, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I think that's human dependent. It depends on the human.
Yeah.
Griffey,
I'll
Ken
say
Griffey
this.
Jr., yes.
Yeah. If you're Bryce Harper, that
Yeah.
man can hit a golf ball.
Hmm.
If you haven't seen his swing, he loves them low and down, and he just launches them into
Hmm.
the atmosphere. He had 3 home runs, had not had a hit all season. They're only 5 games in, 4 or 5 games in. He had 3 home runs last night and another line drive to center that was robbed of one. So I mean,
So he's
But
pacing
that's
forward.
the first game that he's done. So I mean, they were saying something about that on Sports Center today. Is he the best hitter in baseball? And I'm like, he's batting 200, like with the
yeah, I
season
mean,
just starting. I mean, come on.
Hey man,
yeah.
that's the David
Well,
Ortiz line
they're
right there. You
they're
can hit
saying
30
it.
bombs and have a batting average of 212. So
Well, they're saying it because of last year. I mean, he was the most clutch hitter in the playoffs. I mean, his stats for the playoffs were ridiculous. He was batting like 570 with, I think he had 8 or 9 home runs, and his slugging percentage was over 2. So you get over a 2,000 slugging percentage, and it's just ridiculous. So
Well, he's gonna have to show me something more than 200 to get best
yeah, I mean, like I said, he
batter
had
in the
not had a
league.
hit this season, and then he hit 3 dingers and was. I mean, if you didn't see the play, it was a diving, one of those circus catches that was really nice. But I mean, the fact that it was in 40-degree cold weather in
Yeah,
Philly last night, yeah, I
that makes
wouldn't
a
want to play in
difference,
that.
man. It
Oh
makes a
yeah,
big difference.
that ball's got
especially
to be hard as a
get
rock.
it on those hands, man. That stings different, man.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yep.
Well, especially with a wooden bat. I mean, I don't know how much y'all have hit with a wooden bat, but golly,
Yeah,
man, you don't.
it's not fun.
Yeah, you hit that thing low on the neck, or you hit it
You fisted
off
him.
the end cap, dude. Golly, that sucks,
Yep.
Yeah.
especially when it's cold.
And that's
Yep.
when it happens too.
Well,
Speaking
Donnie,
of,
let's get rolling on some topics, man. What you got rolling for us today?
let's talk Titans just for a minute. I mean, it's been a big subject all year for us. The addition of L'Jarius Sneed, if you don't know, he is one of the premier cornerbacks in the league. That was a huge get for us as a Titans organization. The fact that they traded him, off of a Super Bowl team is surprising, but he did want a contract extension and basically had told them, hey, if you're not going to extend me, trade me. We gave him what he was looking for, and he seems happy. Uh, I had the Titans way, way up there today until today happened. And if you missed it, Stephon Diggs
yeah.
leaving Buffalo, headed to the Texans. Good gosh, Texans have just
They couldn't
become
let the Titans have the limelight with Calvin
it's
Ridley. They just had
it,
to.
but what they gave up for him was nothing. They gave up a second round pick. Like he's
Yeah.
a
That's
top
how
5 receiver, top 10 receiver. And
and
you're gonna
I wonder what he's like in the clubhouse, in the locker room. That
he's
is
got to be bad. And they said that they talked it over with the Bills quarterback. I can't think of his name.
Allen.
Allen,
Josh
and
Allen.
he was okay with it.
Wow.
Hey, okay, yeah, let's just get rid of our number 1 receiver. I can throw it to anybody. Yeah, there you go, Mr. Arrogant.
What was it? Was it a first or second round pick? It was a second round pick, wasn't it?
Second round.
Like
That's
next
it.
year.
Yeah.
I think it was for next year.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this
And
is the
Titans
type of
had to
trades
give up like
That's a
90
lot of
something million
confidence in
dollars.
in your depth chart. And it's a lot of confidence in Josh Allen to be able to spray the ball. Like that's some Aaron Rodgers
or
type.
they have said we can't get over the hump. We gotta reload.
I don't know if they're there yet. They
I
still got
don't
a pretty good
know.
D. They still got a pretty good D. And my wife, who is a massive Buffalo Bills fan. Man, if she even knew who Stephon Diggs was, she'd be very upset.
Yeah.
But she doesn't.
Yeah.
But I mean, they
There's
lost
Taylor
him.
Swift and the
they
Kelsey
lost-
brothers, but she doesn't know who Stephon Diggs is.
Yeah, they lost him and Beasley. I mean, you lost your number 1, number 2 receivers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
And this is not
I do wonder if they have the confidence in Allen to be kind of like a Brady or an Aaron Rodgers to be able to spread it around and not overpay.
Either that, or he's just been a fungus in the clubhouse, like
that could be part of it.
Chris said.
Yeah.
Like Chris said. So
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm excited for the Titans. Snead's a main character. Jeffrey Simmons has got to be just sitting over there going, "Oh man, y'all giving me some time to get more sacks now." So,
Yeah, that's
I mean, we've gotten what? We've gotten Snead, Sneeve and Calvin Ridley, and then not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, picked up Tony Pollard, a woozy, whatever.
Love Tony Pollard.
However you say that dude's name, golly, I feel a woozy trying to say his name. But there was a list that came out after, because we didn't, even though we had all these great moves, we still didn't get a good grade. I think they still placed us like 32nd on the power rankings, even after what we've done. But there was a list that came out of the five Titans players that most likely will not be able to come back to the team due to the trades that we have. And I kind of agree with these. I'd love to know Charles' opinion on it. So, now the first one, of course, I really feel like this because, with the acquisition of Ridley coming in, but Trayshawn Harrison, I believe, is gone.
Yep.
Julius Chestnut, running back,
Yep.
I think he's gone.
Yep.
Latavius Simmons at guard is gone. JoJo Doman at linebacker. Anthony Kendall, I think he's a cornerback. I think.
Yep.
But they were saying those five folks most likely are not going to make that 53-man roster this year, and I agree with that.
Yep. We brought Folk back as well, and that seems like a decent value. I mean, he's obviously Hall of Fame kicker, so did not have a bad year at all last year. So I think that was a good move. It's going to be interesting in the draft. I mean, we have set ourselves up to not need to take that tackle. We could trade down. We could go after, and we've talked about Brock Bowers or, another superstar at some point. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good chance for the draft to see what they do. Knowing Rand,
yeah,
I think everything's on the table. He's not gonna. He wanted to go into the draft with a full hand. So,
what's your confidence in Levis?
Think no,
Will
Levis. I'm a big.
You said about
I'm
Levis.
a big
you're
fan
very confident. I know you are.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Chris is not.
I'm not. No.
I think arm strength is top 5 in the NFL as far as just pure arm strength. And when you have
but if arm strength was a big thing to worry about, Joe Milton would be a good quarterback. I'm just saying.
So would Jamarcus Russell.
Neither.
He's got this thing. He's got this thing about him, and it's his appearance. When I say his appearance, like, dude is built.
Yeah.
Like he's jacked.
Shredded like a bag of lettuce.
Russell was not jacked. Russell was jacked like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah. But it's one of those things, like, is it the Tebow factor? He looks like a fantastic athlete. He'd probably make a better baseball player than a football player.
Well, look at it this way. He has that same build that
Brady Quinn.
No, I was thinking of oh gosh, what was the kid's name that came out and did really well? Josh Herbert. 6'4", 6'5".
I think he's thicker.
Pretty built. Oh, he's got a muscular build. He's more in that Brett Favre when he first came out. Brett was like that. He was pretty ripped.
Mm-hmm.
The ability to throw it 50 yards off your back foot is something. Now Milton can sling it, obviously, but being able to sling it on the when you've got time is one thing. He can throw it off his back foot 50 yards and be accurate. That is huge. The release point
This
the release point's what I really enjoy about him. His release point's so high up. If you
Well,
watch,
see, I don't think he's accurate. I mean, that's my whole problem with him. I mean, even all through college, he's leading in freaking interceptions. I mean,
but I mean, you're
I don't
looking
know.
at Kentucky where they ran the ball like crazy. So
I'm definitely a lot more on his side through the offseason than I'm just because I mean he was like first one in line to welcome all these new players in. He's doing what he has to do and what he needs to do to get in there and talk to these new folks and to get some sort of synergy, get some sort of a core going with the crew that he's going to be playing with. So I mean, I'm kudos to him for getting in there and running the show like he's supposed to. But until he's got to show me something skill level wise, man, because he has not done that yet.
do they have a quarterback coach that is? I mean, quarterback coaches, they should be developed coming out of college. That's the purpose of college. But you know how college is these days. It's so simplified and getting into the NFL. Um, I think he needs some tuning, but he's so athletic. How much can that hide? Because he can
Yeah.
run. He can
Yeah.
run, strong
Yeah.
arm. But Donnie, when I was doing this, you're right about the release point. When I was doing this, I was talking about the intermediate routes, the
Yeah.
finesse passes.
Sure.
That is what takes you to
Sure.
a top 10, top 5
Yeah, I
tier
mean,
level of
but
QB.
you
The stuff
look
that
at,
Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes can do.
oh yeah, and that was always Favre's biggest drawback was the intermediate routes and
Mhm.
having that touch pass. He said, "I don't have a touch pass. You just need to be able to catch it when I throw it." You know,
Yeah.
so he was like, "My touch pass is coming at 90,
Yeah.
just like my long ball. You just learn to catch it." You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean that's going to be his biggest.
His touch passes were a bowling ball. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be his biggest critique moving forward. I think it'll be interesting to see having Tajay Spears and Pollard gives him, and Derek had some great catches last year, but it's a different mechanic coming out of the backfield. I mean,
Speaking of Pollard, love the move. Granted, you see in my background, you see that blue flag right here? That's a Memphis flag. I'm a Memphis native. I'm a Memphis grad.
we
And
don't judge you for
Pollard,
that.
Yeah, I thought you just were like showing us your supply of toilet paper.
no, it was meant to be I survived. I got out. I got out.
Survived.
But
He's like, I made it out.
Because, dude, think about it. Pollard went to Dallas. I think he was a 4th-round pick. He was he was viewed as like, okay, he's a kick returner and backup running back to Elliott. But I mean, you want to talk about coming in and just taking a spot.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not like he's 200 pounds. Maybe that's max.
210, I think.
Is he 210?
I think that's what they got him listed as.
And didn't lose speed. That's hard to do when you get to that kind of weight. I was kind of surprised Dallas let him go. I really was. But the fact that they come up and
they don't look good. They look like they're in the throes of a manic depressive episode.
Again,
I mean, it makes some people think it, Jerry Jones isn't just like shooting a line before he goes out and makes a decision to do something.
He's 80. What does he have to lose?
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, it's bad down there. The Cowboys fans are freaking out. I mean,
but come August, it's their year.
Yeah.
It's their year.
But they've said Dak's not back. So
I don't know.
This is Dak's last attack.
Man, I had feelings about Dak when he came out, and it's I feel pretty accurate. I'm like, he's got gifts, he's got skill, but man, you can go and beat LSU once in college, cool at Mississippi State, and in Mississippi State that means something, but in Dallas,
yeah, he's just got.
Even though they haven't won one since '97, so
yeah, he's got that bright light syndrome. Those bright lights get on. Woo, that man's gonna throw some picks. As Stephen A. Smith said, that man will throw the ball to the wrong team.
Hey, they still count as completions, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's why is it what's the Florida State quarterback that was at the Saints?
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston. That man has more touchdown passes than anyone if you count to the other team.
That's right.
That
Hey,
man,
man,
that man will
records are
throw.
records. History's
Hey,
history. Let's go and be a legend.
he's a 30-30 guy. He'll throw 30 to his team and 30 to the other.
Man, he's seeing 30-30 vision.
Man, I
Yeah.
tell you what, has there ever been a 1-2 pick more of a bust than Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota?
Oh yeah.
Oh my
God, they
gosh.
went back to back.
Uh,
I mean, that,
have you forgot a guy named Ryan Leaf?
okay.
And
Yeah.
who was right behind Ryan Leaf?
But you're talking about back to back.
I'm
Like,
talking
yeah,
about
Ryan-
back to back. So 1-2 pick.
because
Who
Peyton
Yeah.
was behind Ryan Leaf?
Heath Schuler.
Who?
Hey, no, come on. He still had his little bit of time in the spotlight for a little bit.
Man, y'all
What?
all wrong.
You lost your mind. He was out of the league in 3 years.
He was. He was.
Yeah, that was
I
the
knew
1-2
no South
pick.
Road.
That was the 1-2 pick of the century.
Was
That
it?
was
Was Peyton
Yeah.
not number one overall?
no. Well, Peyton was later. Heath and Leaf were the same class.
Okay.
Because that was it at the time that I was doing sports card shows, and we had Heath Schuler at Rivergate Mall, and literally lined up. He was supposed to be there from 1 to 4. We kept him till 6. His dad was throwing a fit. I'm like, dude, they are lined up outside of the mall, all the way around the building. I was like, if you want to go tell every one of them that they ain't getting to see him, that's on you. I was like, I'll give you extra money, but he needs to stay.
You better.
And we cut the line at like 2:00, but it was crazy. Yeah, it was a bad idea.
But yeah, James Winston Mariota that. And they faced each
Rough.
other in the initial playoff, that Rose Bowl, where
Yep.
that was. I mean, I don't like Florida State, so I love seeing them just get donkey stomped.
No, that wasn't. No, that was Vince Young and what's his name, Matt something or other.
Leinart.
Was it Matt Leinart?
Well, I'm talking about Oregon and Florida State in 24.
Oh, okay.
About
That
10
was-
years later, almost.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why. I just immediately thought of Vince Young and Matt Leinart.
Vince Young, another one, just had
Rookie
a
of the
little
year.
cup of
That
coffee.
name will go to your
Well,
head.
so did Camden. Also,
Cam at least gave him 2 or 3 years that were pretty good.
yeah, he actually did win an MVP and went to a
Vince
Super Bowl.
Young gave Titans a year and a half, I think.
Yep.
He got a good cup of
That's about
coffee.
Yeah, a couple of years. He got rookie of the year.
He did. But going back to what I was talking about, Tony Pollard, love the move. I think as long as that O-line is above average.
Hey, it's already better after free agency, man.
Yeah, I mean that's no different than college. It starts on the trenches, and if he can make a guy move, or I mean, just make a guy miss rather. I love the move, and he's a Tennessee boy, so I'm happy about that.
Yep.
I like
What's
it.
got next there, Donnie?
By the way, what are y'all drinking?
Let's move on.
I am drinking Woodford.
I am drinking a little bit of Eagle Rare, and I wasn't going to drink tonight, but I decided to have one.
And you realized it was Wednesday? It's Wednesday,
I
right?
decided to have one. Just one. Just one.
I got 7 caves here. This is it's a rum that it was given to us by someone at our wedding, which Chris attended. Thank you, Chris, in a big old cowboy hat.
Okay.
It's based out of San Diego, California, and it's got a finish like getting thrown off a inner tube on a lake. So
Okay. Next up is something that none of us really want to talk about, but Easter was this past weekend, and it was mauled in Nashville by a shooting, left 1 dead, 5 injured, over just some silliness. I mean, they arrested the guy. He was in Nashville. He fled to Kentucky. They got him in Kentucky. But just if you've got beef, you feel like you need to take it up on Easter. Right.
Well, I mean, this wasn't the first time for this dude. I mean, he's been in trouble for pulling a gun on women. It was some women that he got upset with. I mean, he's been in jail. He just got out of jail. He was on probation. I mean, this dude shouldn't even be. I mean, he seriously should be locked up, and that's where he should be left at. I mean, if he can't act any damn better than that. But hey, he let's not let anybody have guns because they don't get guns if they've got a
I didn't say that.
felony,
You did
right?
not hear me say that. You didn't hear me say that.
Guy's got a felony gun charge, but yet he had another gun. I wonder how that happened.
Because we can keep guns from people if I can't figure it out. Never mind.
Exactly.
Doesn't
Yeah,
make sense.
I heard about it from Memphis, and while I was in Memphis, and usually you suspect something like that to happen while in Memphis. So that was a little
Yeah.
bit of an adjustment. Um, yeah, it's one of those things where when you hear a story like that, I'm of the mind where you kind of wait for the details to come out before I formulate an opinion.
Right.
Because you want to think logically and pragmatically. And knowing that he had a rap sheet, previous incarcerations, and just it's the it's a common thread. It's a pattern with the country, the world really, but more. I mean, we're here in the U.S., but that's a pattern in our country today where a lot. We go get into politics probably, but every everyone is
Part of it.
deemed inconsequential. There's no consequence for uh acting a fool,
Mhm.
as Chris would say. And just I never understood the whole we're having an argument, so let me reach for my gun. And maybe I'm not
Yeah.
supposed to understand that.
Yeah. That's pretty dumb.
It's funny you
It's
say that. There was somebody that got interviewed after all that. I guess the news interviewed him, whatever, and he said the same thing. He's like, "Whatever happened to dudes just going out in the parking lot and duking it out?" I mean,
Buddy,
this
that's
guy,
where understanding is realized and discovered.
Sure.
And you
this guy just
finally just say we're
pointed a
done. We're gonna
gun.
go our separate ways.
This guy pointed a gun in that dude's general direction and hit all kind of people, trying to hit the dude. And from what I understand, he didn't even hit the dude he was trying to hit.
No.
So
Nope.
yeah, I hate.
As Lloyd Christmas was saying, Dumb and Dumber, you're a horrible shot.
I mean, you're not wrong there. Not wrong. Yeah, I mean, it's just sad that we have to, still, it's the system. I mean, that's all there is to it. It's just a system that's we're living in. You can find guns anywhere, and you know, you can tell me all about all this other stuff, on how to keep them out, but it's not going to help if you're a criminal and can go get a gun on the street
It's
because
easier for criminals to get guns than
yeah,
responsible
because
gun
and it's
owners.
not because of anything that a law is doing. It's because of
No,
the part of the unlaw part.
and they our leadership in this government. I don't say they act like they know, but it's ideology. They act like the black market does not exist. They're gonna get guns.
Yeah,
Everyone can go and get a gun. I can
sure.
go out and get a gun here in Tennessee. Yeah, I can go out and get a gun anywhere if I want. But I'm trying to stay off the grid and out of the crosshairs of the law. I respect the law. I obey the law as best I can. Yeah, I drive 9 miles over the speed limit, but which I probably shouldn't admit that. But
Good job.
it's okay. All right. But no, speaking as someone who's never been arrested, never been put in jail for anything. I think I've walked a fairly narrow straight line. Um, I ain't perfect, but dadgummit, like I just don't. Anybody can go and get a firearm. No, everyone knows somebody who knows somebody.
Mhm.
It's
Is it a
brass
narrow
tacks.
straight line, or is it just because you didn't get caught?
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's
Yeah,
what it is for me. I just didn't get caught.
yeah, that's what I said.
It's
But yeah,
fair.
that again, just the mindset. It is a. I think it's a mental, some kind of a mental instability in the country where it's just. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'm not claiming to know the answer. I don't know the answer, but it's you get into an argument with someone over some frivolous stuff that you're not going to remember in 30 minutes, and your first initial reaction is to whatever, wherever it's you get it holstered. It's 0 to 100. I don't get it.
Sure. Yeah, it literally just escalates quickly.
Yeah, and it makes a bad look for all the responsible gun owners because there are some. As I say, some. There are a lot of them. I'm friends with a lot of them. So that kind of gums it up for everyone else, you know. So it's a tragedy, and I'm glad they found him in Kentucky. With a repeated rap sheet and arrest for similar acts of violence, he man, throw away the key. Put him in a cell, throw away the key. He made his choice. Again, that's a pragmatic view. That's a logical view. That's common sense, but we don't live in a
Yep.
common sense these days.
Nope, I agree. I think it just is what it is. And we'll see where it goes from here. It's sad, but I mean, Nashville's definitely getting bigger, and it's going to have these types of things happen. We just figured, the Raleigh strain stuff finally got all wrapped up.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, did y'all look into that? Did y'all know about?
I say
Well,
wrapped up. They found
well,
him,
hold
but
on.
there's some serious weirdness in that thing.
I know what you're thinking where I'm going, but I'm not going that way.
Okay.
The United Cajun Navy. Have y'all heard about this?
The what?
This is who they like reached out to and sourced out to help try to recover the body. Or I guess who volunteered rather, the United Cajun Navy. Like I think
Weird.
based out of Louisiana.
I didn't hear anything
Just on
about
name
that.
alone, do you think you would be a good value and make an impact
Maybe. Yeah.
for the United Cajun Navy?
Yeah.
Chris?
I don't know what the hell the United Cajun Navy is.
Exactly. I think I'd be impactful. I'm saying be a good impact.
Well, I'm guessing that if you know anything about the Cajuns down there in New Orleans, they got some swamps they have to dredge, and they're probably pretty good at it.
They're on fan boats, dude.
Yeah.
That I mean, any kind of uh, abduction or missing person and
They're
in
probably
Moses
pretty good.
River, those might be the people you want to source out to.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Moving on. What about Chris's Vols? They
Heartbreaks.
they almost got there. Almost got there. Did you know they have the most appearances in the Elite Eight without ever having to get to the Final Four?
They've never been in the Final Four.
Yeah, I know.
it's tough for me to rag on Chris because as an Auburn fan, mostly football, but I don't want to see Alabama win anything.
Yeah,
like
they're gonna have a rough road.
Spelling bee. I don't want Alabama probably couldn't win a spelling bee, but
well, I tell you what, the Vols did not have. They just did not have an answer for that Zach Edie, whatever his name is.
Guy's got a good name. I'll say that much.
All right. But I mean, dude was,
Oh, Lord.
they just did not have an answer for him. Dalton Connect was awesome. I mean, he played probably one of his best games, 35, 40 points, I think.
That guy's awesome.
Yeah, and I think he was the only ball that had double digits. I mean, you could say that's good or bad, maybe that's ball hog type situation. Maybe that was part of the problem. I don't know. But the big stat that really just killed him is Purdue out rebounded UT 47-26. I mean, double almost what they did. I mean, that's just you can't win like that. And you can't win, in my opinion, you can't win just resting Connect is good, but he is not Jordan. You can't just rest on kids' shoulders and expect to go. So, I was proud of them. I was glad to see that they got to the Sweet 16. I would have loved to see them, or excuse me, to the Elite Eight, but I'd have loved to see them go to the Final Four. And I don't know. I think next year they got even a harder road. It's going to be, they're losing some key players, including Connect. So it's going to be a tougher road to hoe next year. So we'll see. But I'm kind of pulling for Purdue. I've kind of done that every year. Anytime anybody that's put my teams out in the past years, I've continued. I'm like, well, hell, if you're gonna put us out, I'm gonna cheer you on the rest of the way. You better win it. So, yeah, it sucked, man. They're this close, just this close. Well, hell, Purdue hadn't been in the Final Four, I think, since 85 or
80.
Yeah,
80.
Something like that.
1980.
So, I mean, good job for them too. But yeah, just We didn't
that's
have an
something-
answer for Zach Edey yet. Just not at all.
I'm gonna say something, but I want to follow up with Chris here after I say this. So it's UConn, Purdue, Bama, NC State, right?
Mm.
Okay, so Purdue hasn't been there since 1980. NC State since 83. I think that was Valvano,
Yep.
Jimmy Valvano. Bama, never been there. UConn's a blue blood.
Yeah.
You think it's a wrap with UConn? They've been to the show.
You would
Even
think
last
that.
year, just last year, they've been to the show.
Yeah.
Others, what do you think?
Man, I tell you, 90% of the people think that.
Yeah.
That UConn's got this. As far as Alabama, I'd cheer for the Taliban before I'd cheer for them. But
Same, bro.
everybody that I've talked to thinks UConn's got the rest of this. I think they're going to have a hard time with Purdue. I think Purdue's going to come out playing like some damn NBA.
I want Purdue to win it all.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to. I'm actually putting my bets on Purdue. So we'll see. But Alabama can eat a fat one. But rest of it,
And they probably do.
yeah,
And Matt Painter, the coach of Purdue, he rocks that Silver Fox look like I ain't seen it in a minute. So
I know
that has a lot to do with the scheme, a basketball scheme. So, but
I mean, it's going to be I think every one of these, the last 3 games are going to be all real good, real tight.
And that's what you want.
I mean, I think it's been a good March Madness. Very good, in my opinion.
What I want to follow up with Chris on, you get the pulse. I would imagine you have the pulse on Ball Nation. Barnes, is he starting to get the hook, or what's the temperature on him?
I don't think so. I mean,
No?
no, I don't have a pulse on that. Anything I tell you, just be
Okay. Well, I was wrong then.
But yeah, I mean, it'd be completely conjecture. But I mean, I don't think so. I mean, you can't. There's not anything that's going on there that changing one person's gonna fix. So
Yeah.
I don't know. But again, that's just my opinion.
Hey man, if
But he
Calipari
digresses.
can be there for 16 years, then I think
Yeah.
Barnes should be fine. So
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But then again, you think back of getting rid of tenured coaches, and that's what put UT football in the damn gutter for
it is
20
Pandora's
years
box.
by getting rid of,
Yeah.
of tenured coaches. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. What else you boys got? Got anything else?
man, I tell you what, it's been a kind of a slow week around here. Real estate market's doing pretty good. Pretty excited about it. I mean, absolutely flying off the handle more than it has in the last 2 years for me anyway. So you can't complain about that.
Okay,
I mean,
fair enough.
I'm excited for WrestleMania this weekend. I don't know about y'all.
I was watching Dark Side of the Ring earlier. Well, no,
That's
wasn't
some
it?
dark
It was
stuff,
yesterday.
dude.
I was watching the Brutus Barber Beefcake one.
I haven't watched that.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, Zach, do us a favor, man. Tell us a little bit about you and what you do and your business, and let's make it a little beneficial. Get your name out there a little bit.
So yeah, I live down here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Been down here for Chris knows he sold me my house.
There you go, Chris.
I'll get you over. My wife and I, we got married just over a year ago, late January, and we recently, it was half a year ago, 7 months now, welcomed identical twin boys.
Good looking
We're doing
kids.
great right now. One's a chunk and one is like a little big nugget. And they're a pound apart. I don't get it. It's weird, man. This is my first experience with fatherhood. You guys are veterans in this phase of life. Any and all advice is welcomed. Anyone who's watching this, who also has any kind of wisdom they can impart on me, bring it on. Not saying I'm gonna use it, but I'm not sure how many people know how to handle twins two at the same time. But but I work at PPG Painting and Coating. I'm a rep here in the greater Nashville area, focused in on Murfreesboro, and we're kind of just trying to just make our mark around here. And I've kind of reached out to both of y'all for some as a resource, and y'all been very grateful and being able to supply that kind of information, and very grateful for it. But yeah, I've been in sales for most of my adult life. I originally from Memphis, as you can tell. See the flag above my left shoulder. Auburn football fan mostly above my right shoulder, and we all hate Alabama, and that's just the way it's going to be. So,
Amen.
and yes, pro wrestling is still real.
That's right. That's right.
Fair enough.
It's
Yeah.
funny when we closed on his first house. Like I've sold him two now. When we closed on his first house, we did the handshake that Hogan and Macho Man did when they were doing one of their
Lord.
interviews.
Gosh, Donnie thinks we're such nerds right
No,
now.
I mean,
He's a nerd too. Don't let him try to.
I enjoy a good wrestling match, as we used to call it.
Hey, I'm a wrestling guy. I am from
I
Memphis.
enjoy it.
Jerry
I think
Lawler is the king. That's just the way it is.
yeah, I mean, if
I'm
you
a
ain't
Heyday fan. I don't even know who these people are anymore. But
But if you got
Heyday,
back
I
into
loved
it
it.
right now, it is
well, The Rock's back. That's all
The
that
Rock is
matters.
back.
I've seen some TikTok videos of that.
Dude, he is still as entertaining as it gets.
Yeah,
And there are some areas of his celebrity, whatever you want to call it. I tried to get too enthralled with celebrities on social media where he does annoy me.
yeah.
But and let's just knock it down to what it is. That guy is like 52 years old. That body is not supposed to do what it's doing as age.
Oh, it is. As long as you have the right amount of how do we say it? Injectables.
Gas.
It's all about the injectables.
I mean, look, I'm a washed up high school athlete. I didn't even play in college. I'm okay with that, but I can say I never touched stuff. I didn't never probably because I followed pro wrestling and I've heard the effects of what it does. I'm like, I don't want any part of that. So, but I can still enjoy the entertainment. But Rock and Dwayne Johnson, he's still very, very entertaining in what he's doing right now. And I would recommend take a peek at it, man, because they've changed their whole production value because they hired some guy who did he was like the executive producer for College Game Day for ESPN. So their production value is just fantastic in what they do as the overall presentation. If you're into that kind of creative viewing experience,
Sure.
it's really something to really to watch and,
That's cool.
and take in. So but yeah, that's what we do. We have 9 dogs. A little bit more about me. Sorry. We have 9 dogs. I know that's a flabbergasting number, but
That's a big number.
that's a big number. It's actually down. We've gone down in inventory of dogs. So, but my wife she does breed dachshunds and German shepherds. So
Gotcha.
there's a capitalism aspect
Okay.
to it all.
Fair enough.
So it's like I'm not here to have 9 dogs just to pay for. I need them to make me money. So
there you go. I was wondering.
So,
I was like, okay, maybe
there is
they're
some
crazy dog
capitalism.
lovers. I mean, there's crazy cat lady.
Hey, if she had, all right. So the only reason I decided to date her, she had like 7 dogs at the time. But if she had one cat, no, I'm just not a cat person.
No, I'm not.
They're smarmy and just snide. No, like that. At least a dog will love you forever.
Right.
So,
well, that's all I got, Donnie. How about you, buddy?
That is it for me. I've been banging and clanging, ready to. I think I get a day off Friday if all goes well. We'll see.
Don't you get to give yourself a day off?
Man, I say I get a day off. I actually had 2 days off this week because of a truck issue that has finally got worked out. But it's pretty sad that you can take it to 3 different dealerships, 2 different Firestones, and none of them can look at a dang paperwork and see that there was a service bulletin on it that said, hey, if it's not starting and having gas issues, relocate the front fuse box. and they even make a kit for it. Imagine that. So yeah, there was a service bulletin, and three Ford dealerships and 2 other stations missed it. Took it to a station, and he was like, "Oh, I know exactly what it is. I'll fix it in 2 hours."
It's bad when you got to take it back to the place who ruined it in the first place.
No, that didn't happen. But hey, it's running better. I'm now without a radio for a while because all of this created another issue, but whatever. It's what it is.
Well,
You can just listen to the wind outside.
That's right.
well,
Windows
Zach,
down.
thank you. Thank you for
Yes,
joining
sir.
us
Thanks for
today,
joining us.
man. We certainly appreciate you coming on. Welcome anytime you want to.
Hey, man, I will try to make myself available as much as I can. 2 infant newborns, and you can't tell them apart under the right lighting. So,
Oh yeah.
And remember, follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Spotify,
we're on the TikTok.
Rumble. We're on the TikTok. I do food reviews on the TikTok.
Oh, I've
Been
not
Got
getting
any
some
of those
pretty good-
coming up?
Been getting some pretty. I got one coming in tomorrow.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah, been getting some pretty good traction on it, and some comments, and even some of the places I've reviewed have commented. So that's kind of nice.
I'm starting to see some acts getting booked for CMA Fest here in a month or 2.
Yep.
Some acts like I think Riley Green and Chris Young over at the Ascent Amphitheater. So I can't say I'll go out there and stand in 95
Oh,
degrees.
we're gonna go do
You're
Music
gonna
City Mix from the CMA Fest. We're gonna have a booth. It's gonna be
Heck
in the
yeah.
back.
Well,
It's gonna be
hey.
the back of the truck.
I
I
love
can be
it.
bought. I'll show up.
We'll use my truck for that one. That way we
Is
have
it
a
gonna be-
radio.
Don's truck
Wait,
ain't gonna be
is-
running.
Hey! Is it gonna be back?
I'm supposed to get it back the end of the month.
Still
Okay.
got truck issue, brother?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
threw a rod.
Oh,
Had to get a new engine.
ugh. That makes me want to throw up.
Let me tell you, that sucks. But driving around in my son's project car, which is a 98 Honda Civic, that's all red except for the front bumper, which is blue. That's what sucks.
Dude, that sounds pimping.
Speedometer doesn't work in it. I
Dude,
have
you
to pull
said
up Waze
pimping.
on my phone so that I can see how fast I'm going on the roads.
Does it
Yeah.
You gotta use
Does
a
it-
stopwatch for how fast you're going.
Right.
does it have the loud exhaust?
No,
It's
there's
not like a
that-
blender.
no,
No,
it's
that would be
there's no Mexico in it, unfortunately.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
you should see about some street races to get involved in, and
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
race for slips.
Right. It
I
doesn't
can see
even
Chris-
lock. Like I can't even leave anything inside of
That's a
it.
good way to get rid of it.
Right.
It's an
Take it to
honest way.
Memphis.
He bought
Take it
it
to
for-
Memphis.
Bro, President's Island, they will, man, you ain't got to race. They'll just pick your car clean.
Yeah, he bought it
While
for
you're driving it.
600
You'll be
bucks.
driving it, and all of a sudden you'll just be sitting there with doors and a seat and a steering wheel.
Right.
Oh,
Little
it's
Chevy
very
Chase.
much a
Was that Chevy Chase? That was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's very much a submissive deal. Like, hey, take whatever you want. I don't care. Like, I don't need this thing. This is not even mine.
Right.
The title's in your name.
Well, all right.
Mhm.
Well, thank you all for joining us. Donnie, great job. Zach, appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll talk to y'all next episode. Talk at you later.
Have a good night, guys.